And so one thing that I want to focus a little bit on is healing. I think this is something that the church in America has let go of, that the church in America, it only happens every once in a while, they think. It's not common today. It was common when Jesus was on earth and afterwards with his main disciples, but after that, it's not common. Not for these modern times, not for modern medicine, not for modern doctors. God will use doctors to heal us. We don't need prayer to miraculously heal us. Well, I just don't see that in the Bible. I don't see anytime anyone asks for healing, I don't see the response from the disciples or from Jesus to ever say, not right now, go to the doctor, he's going to heal you. Never happened. I'm sorry if this offends you, but again, I'm just bringing the word to you, and this is my heart. This is my heart that all people would be healed, because that's the will of the Father, that all people would be healed of their situations and of their physical illnesses. So I got a few verses for those that don't believe in healing or have doubts about healing. John chapter 14, verse 11 through 12. Jesus said, "Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me." He's establishing authority. He did that a lot. Before the Great Commission, he established his authority. Then he continues, "I tell you the truth." I'm going to pause there real quick. There's not a ton of times where Jesus started out saying something by saying, "I tell you the truth," or "I tell you truly. Truly I tell you." So it must be pretty important, and it's probably going to be something that we're going to doubt. It's probably going to be something that we're going to be hard to believe. So he has to say right away, look, what I'm about to tell you is the truth. It's crazy, but it's the truth, all right? I tell you the truth. Anyone who believes in me will do the same things that I have done, and even greater things, because I am going to be with the Father. It's hard to get a hold of. I see why he said, I'm telling you the truth. It's hard to realize, or to get a hold of that. We can do the same things that Jesus did. We can cleanse the lepers and raise the dead and heal the sick the same way that Jesus did. It's hard for us to get a hold of that alone. And then after the comma, it's even harder for us to get a hold of that. We're going to do even greater things than Jesus. But Jesus is the great one. We can't be greater than him. And it's true. But we're going to do greater things by him, with him, and him working through us. Another one where he starts out with, I tell you the truth. Matthew chapter 21, verses 18 through 22. If you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only do what has been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, be taken up and cast into the sea, it will happen. All of these things you ask in prayer, believing, you will receive. The Bible, and Jesus in particular, deals a lot with faith and with believing. There's so many verses that say, if you'd only believe, why do you have such little faith? Church, I want our faith to be increased tremendously. So there's one time that the disciples could not heal a man. And I want to bring that up. I want to address that this morning. So they couldn't heal the man. And it's in Matthew chapter 17, verses 19 through 21. After they couldn't heal the man, they went up to Jesus. It says, the disciples approached Jesus privately and said, why couldn't we drive it out? Someone's not been healed, which we see all the time right now. But there was only once. So they're coming to Jesus. What happened, Jesus? Why couldn't we drive it out? This is the first time we've seen this. He responds with, because of your little faith. And then he continues with, I tell you the truth. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will tell this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. However, this does not come out except by prayer and fasting. So that's why this is such a timely message after we've gone over the lifestyle of prayer and the lifestyle of fasting. So now that we've learned how to pray and learned how to fast, and we're living a lifestyle of those things, now we can increase our faith, increase our belief, and then we'll be able to drive out demons, heal the sick, raise the dead. Every single time that Jesus prayed over the sick, or the sick came to him for healing, they were healed. Every single time. And Jesus came to reveal the will of the Father. Because one of the things that we say is, Lord, if it's your will, heal this person. And when we don't see healing, we walk away and say, well, must not be in his will right now. Well, Jesus came to reveal the will of the Father, and every time he prayed over someone for healing, they were healed. So it is the Father's will that all people be healed. It's our unbelief that's holding us back, and not the unbelief of the person that we're praying for. We can't say, well, they just weren't willing to receive. That must have been what happened. No, we didn't see that when the disciples came to Jesus. He didn't say the person you were cleansing wasn't receiving. No, he said because of your little faith. That's why it didn't happen. And I've seen it over and over and over again. As you pray for people that don't believe, doesn't matter. I'm releasing. I have the Holy Spirit, the presence of God living inside of me. I have hope inside of me and healing inside of me. And I release it unto them. Atheists, Buddhists, whatever. All of them. Healed. Because I'm the one in charge of releasing His Spirit. We just up here sang in your presence over and over again. It was so cool because we totally did not practice that at all. We've never practiced that. But it was a very cool moment. But we're just like, in your presence, I'm made whole. Well, we have that presence. We need to release that presence so that others can be made whole. Some more instances of faith and of people that believed in the Bible. There's a woman I'm sure you guys are familiar with that was bleeding for many, many years. I'm not up on it enough to know how long she was bleeding, but she was bleeding so much, and she had so much faith that Jesus could heal her that she said, if I can just touch His garment, it's so crowded, and there's so many people around, but if I can just reach and just touch His garment, I'll be healed. And so she did touch His garment, and immediately all the bleeding for years and years and years stopped. She was healed right then and there. And Jesus noticed her faith. And amidst all the people, He said, wait a second, who touched me? And the disciples looked at Him like he was crazy, like, Lord, there's all these people pressing in on you. There's tons of people touching you. Why are you saying, who touched me? This guy's a little weird. And He said, no, I felt power leave from me. Who touched me? And He found the woman, and He said, your faith has healed you. Her faith released power from Jesus. Another time that we see faith is huge. Christmas was just a couple weeks ago. And when the angel appeared first to Zechariah, if you guys are familiar with the story, for Elizabeth to be pregnant with John the Baptist, the angel appeared to Zechariah and said, the Lord has heard your cry. He's heard your prayers. You're going to be with child. You're going to have a son finally. Your wife is to be pregnant. Zechariah responded with, how can you do this? It's a sentence of unbelief right there. How can you do this? I'm old. My wife's old. We're senior citizens. How is she going to be pregnant? So how did the angel respond to his unbelief? Shut his mouth. He couldn't speak until it came. So what's that, 9-10 months? So at the same time, the same angel, Gabriel, appeared to Mary and said, Mary, you are highly favored, you're a blessed woman, and the Son of the Most High you will become pregnant with, even as a virgin. She responded with, how will you do this? One word difference. The difference between being mute and not being mute. One word, church. But she had faith and she believed. She said, let it be done as you have said. Or Zechariah was like, dude, we're old. I don't think you get this. Okay, shh. No more talking from you. So, faith is a big deal. And God could make us mute if we don't have our faith. I don't want that. Some more verses about belief. Mark 16. I'm hitting every gospel here. Jesus appeared to the 11 as they were eating. He rebuked them for their lack of faith and their stubborn refusal to believe. He said to them, "Go into all the world, preach the gospel to all creation. Whoever believes will be saved. And these signs will accompany those that believe. In my name they will drive out demons, they will speak in new tongues, and they will place their hands on the sick, and they will be healed." Let's back up. And these signs will accompany those really cool missionaries and the pastors that pray a lot. We put too much on our pastors' shoulders. These signs will accompany those that believe.